The suspect is accused of firing at one of the victims even after he had fallen to the ground.
23 years old, just a very frightening time.
That the alleged shooter is only 14 years old.
These very towers carry the whoa-whoa radio signal. On that morning,
Guess who's back? Uncle Dre. Shoo. Uncle Dre.
Okay, guys, I want to speak on the disturbing murders in Chicago that happened. This is Tutu. He was a well-known member and very respected from his group and inside Ja Rule and STL and all them guys. His name was ringing a lot as a youngin'. He was close to FBG Duck. He's was murdered allegedly by CD and crew. Now I want to talk about Big A. Big A, I feel like Big A and HK caused their own death. This video is about the most disturbing hits in Chicago. Big A name was already ringing, and he decided to just bully into a situation and got himself killed. White was killed, you know what I'm saying? Vaughn was allegedly with him. Allegedly Vaughn said this, and T-Roy death turned him up even more, or whatever. He was killed allegedly by 50 Shot, who's doing 100 years. Some say 50 Shots may have not did it. Zach TV was the biggest. When they killed Zach TV, everybody felt like nobody didn't give a fuck about nothing no more. They didn't care. They were like, oh, if you kill this dude, man, they'll kill anybody. E-Day was the most shocking out because everybody was off guard when you get the morning news and you hear rapper E-Day 600 killed. It was like Zach TV getting killed, but this time it was the biggest rapper. E-Day kind of started the drill almost. He was a big part of the drill. Dusky was a big shocking. His death still get talked about today because his funeral was shot up. Wooski was alleged shot there, and plus he was involved with a lot of other situations. MOB Scrap name get talked about to today. He was like close to the beginning when he got killed, but they did so much at a young age that it's still disturbing. And plus some of the people they killed, their brothers are big time right now. FBG Cash was the biggest news coming out of Chicago, close to the Duck and all that other situation, because when Cash got killed, it was like Duck getting killed all over again, you know, because nobody thought this would happen. Nobody even think that people wanted Cash. We know he was taunting people and stuff like that. Brick and Kobe, you know what I'm saying, put everybody on notice. When they got hit, that put everybody on notice. Oh, y'all better pay attention. Shit's getting real. It should have put a lot of people on notice anyway, but it really put on notice. TV was very disturbing. If that video would have came out a little early, TV was going to probably go anyway, because all the stuff that we saw on that video, what he did to T-Roy, and the videos of T-Roy just laying there is crazy. Now, K.I. murder was very sad because people were like, oh man, this and that, but you know what I'm saying, K.I. was portraying, and the people around her were portraying her as that big time killer. So they got out of the way. Evidently she had to do something. Who's gonna try to kill a female like that? HK, like I told y'all, HK and Big A got they self killed. They was doing a lot. They was becoming serial killers, and then they was out there with no angels on their back, and they got killed. You know, HK was lurking, Big A was lurking. Lil JoJo. Now, Lil JoJo is still today the biggest unsolved case in Chicago, and it was like the beginning of the biggest death in the drill culture that hit the internet, because everybody got to see the funeral and the real beef. That's what everybody was looking at, the Brick Squad and all that against a lot of people. Then you heard about the STL. They all been out, but you know, we started seeing the STL and everybody. Bob O murder was shocking too, because he was killed coming out of jail. The story that always came out, Bob O, don't let people know you coming home. And allegedly Bob O was down there telling people he getting that. Bob O, he that nigga, he don't care. And he was killed, leaving the jail. And same thing with KTS Dre. I don't know if he was telling people he was coming home, but you know, you got opposite people down there that you don't know. They watching you. His was crazy because I think it was over 80 times. He was shot over 80 times. And it had your mom and all that, your family in there. It's just crazy, man. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want them to be involved with that. 051 Melly is still the biggest, one of the biggest today also because of what happened and how he got backdoored that day. So a lot of people say he shouldn't have been around there. And he shouldn't have been around that situation. But Melly feel like ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me. I'm showing people how I'm out there. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show them. Lil Mark was that dude. And allegedly, Lil Mark did a lot of things at a young age. But Lil Mark was the people, one of the person that people was watching on the other side. And that's who they wanted. They had to get him out of here. Once they would start drilling, he was one of them guys they wanted out of here. Fathead also. Fathead was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, was saying a lot of things. He had the mouthpiece, and plus he had all these girls at the beginning, you know what I'm saying? That's why we were saying Young Money was getting the girls. T-Roy, his death is very disturbing, man. Very disturbing, but it was said that T-Roy was that dude. He was that killer. He was one of them niggas. And it so happened somebody got him that T-Roy probably didn't recognize. And the reason why I say that because the guy was able to walk up on T-Roy. If T-Roy felt like he was a big threat, he would have let loose then. Maybe he thought that guy wasn't gonna let loose. Now you know Duck case was the biggest. It was the real biggest in Chicago. Duck and L.A. Capone, I think the biggest. With the JoJo, those are my top three biggest deaths in Chicago. Because that really impacted the drill culture when you think about them and how they sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, their life for the drill culture. BT still one of the mysteries of what really went down with his death. Only a few people know. A lot of people say this and say that, but they don't really know. Yeah, a person could tell you this and that, but do you know who the trigger man is? No. Baldy, he was killed early, but a lot of people should know about Baldy. There's a story behind Baldy, big story behind Baldy, and why a lot of the guys wanted Baldy out of here. Tuka name's still one of the most talked about in Chicago. When you talk about drill culture, and people say some names, if they talk about an opera trying to be funny, Tuka name will be the first name that comes up. Sherrod, OD. We already know